I wouldn't say this is the best Disney live action remake though, but I would say this. This is definitely one of the better ones. But I wouldn't say it's up to par with like Cinderella, The Jungle Book, and even The Little Mermaid. What is up guys and Disney fans? Welcome back to my channel. This is OCD Movie Reviews. My name is On the Brinkcat, and today we have another Disney live action film here right now, and that film is Lilo and Stitch. This movie is directed by Dean Fleischer Camp, and this movie stars Maia, Kealoha, Sydney Agudong, Zach Galifianakis, Billy Magnussen, Amy Hill, Courtney B. Vance, and Chris Sanders returning as the voice of Stitch. A lonely Hawaiian girl named Lilo befriends a runaway fugitive alien, helping to mend her fragmented family. So of course we have another Disney live action film right here, and of course it's another Disney live action film. We get so many of those these days. Those movies mostly did well in the box office, well, except for Snow White. But now we have Lilo and Stitch, and I felt like Snow White, that came out this year, is sort of like the last straw for me, feeling like, okay, we should really stop doing these live action films. But I was still kind of interested in this remake because first of all, the trailers really do impress me. I thought the marketing of this film brings us the same marketing that we love from the original Lilo and Stitch. So I was giving this movie as much chance as possible. It does look very cute. I went into the film with an open mindset thinking, of course, this is not going to be like the original film or not going to be as good as the original film. And like I said, Lilo and Stitch is in my top 10 favorite Disney films of all time. It's such a great animated film. If you want to check my original review out, check it out. I really do love the original Lilo and Stitch. So I of course went into this movie very optimistic, but also with an open mind going, okay, at least this movie be fun. That's all I want from this movie. And I gotta say guys, I walked out of this movie pretty much enjoying this live action remake. I wouldn't say this is the best Disney live action remake though, but I would say this. This is definitely one of the better ones. But I wouldn't say it's up to par with like Cinderella, The Jungle Book, and even The Little Mermaid. This film does have a certain amount of issues, but I would say throughout the most part, I enjoyed this live action remake. And I gotta say, one of my biggest positives when it comes to this film is absolutely Stitch itself. Once again, Chris Sanders reprises his role as Stitch, and I thought he does a great job in the film. And Stitch is adorable, lovable character that we still know and love from the original film. But the CGI on Stitch is fantastic. He works really well with the live action in the film. He looks great in the film. I thought the CGI on Stitch is absolutely flawless. Right when I saw the trailer, I'm like, okay, they did Stitch right. The CGI looks fantastic. Wonder how that's going to be in the film. It looks great in the film. I thought most of the CGI in the film looks pretty good in the film. There are a couple of CGI problems that I will mention the flaws of the film, but most of the CGI, I did buy it. But Stitch is still that lovable, destructive character that we know and love from the original film. They did Stitch right in this film. But of course, the character that really does stole this film for me is Maia Kealoha as Lilo. First of all, man, she is adorable in this film. She was 6 when this movie was filmed, and she is fantastic in this film. For her first acting debut, I gotta give props to this little girl. She is fantastic in this film. She embodies Lilo right. She's still the lovable Lilo that we know and love from the original film. Her characteristics is still Lilo. And I thought Maia Kealoha, hopefully I said her name right, she is phenomenal in this film. And I would say her chemistry with Stitch in the film, it's just absolutely adorable in this film. I thought the chemistry between Lilo and Stitch is what stole the film for me. It is great. Every time you see Lilo and Stitch in screen together, especially in live action, it's great. Every single scene they have together brings a lot of heart and a lot of fun to the film. The rest of the cast throughout the most part is pretty good in the film. I would say Sydney Agudong, hopefully I say her name right, as Nani. She is really good in this film. There are some changes to her character, which I do not mind. And I think Sydney Agudong does a good job as Nani, and I would say she's actually kind of attractive in this film. Also, Billy Magnussen as Pleakley in the film. I thought his character is hilarious in the film. They did Pleakley really well in this film. There are a couple of elements where I was actually killing myself laughing with his character. I thought his comedic timing was really well done in this film. And everyone else did a really good job for what they were given. I thought the locations this film was filmed in is beautiful. Of course, this film is filmed in Hawaii, and absolutely it looks beautiful in this film. It makes me want to go to the location. I would say the location spotting is absolutely wonderful in the film. This film is hilarious. There is some great comedic timing in the film, especially with Stitch's character. I thought the comedy still works well in the film. And you know, the heartness and touching moments throughout the most part, I really did like in this film. It's definitely one of those live action films that is more of a retelling of the same story with a couple of changes. And there are a couple of changes that I feel like the original Lilo and Stitch fans will probably either be mixed on. I would say this, there are some changes that I would say works, in my personal opinion. And there are some changes that do not work, which I'll mention down the flaws. But most of the changes, I liked it because this film is trying to be its own identity. It's not trying to be a copy and paste remake of another Disney film, say like The Lion King for example. This film still follows the same formula, but it has a couple of changes to keep its own identity, and that's what I want from a Disney live action film. And I thought most of the changes I do not mind in the film. It makes this film kind of like its own thing, not feeling like a copy and paste Disney live action remake. This film is definitely great for the whole family. I think kids will absolutely adore this film, especially with Stitch's character. It's definitely a film that's simple enough to enjoy for me, because I was watching going, yeah, this is a very cute film. If it comes on Disney Plus or if it comes on Blu-ray, yeah, I'll pick it up. It's still a very enjoyable live action remake. But this film definitely has its own amount of issues, absolutely. And I feel like the biggest issue with the movie, in my personal opinion, is the emotional depth. I didn't really feel it as much as the original film, especially with the chemistry between Lilo and Nani in the film, which I feel like it's the biggest importance of the original film. I wasn't feeling as much here. I do think the chemistry between Maia and Cindy in the film is adorable in the film. There has some really cute moments together. But I wasn't feeling as emotionally depth as I was in the original film. I wasn't feeling for Nani as much in this film than the original film. I thought the acting was great, but since this movie had a couple of changes and it's trying to focus on kind of one thing only with Lilo and Stitch, I felt like the emotional depth in the film, I wasn't feeling it as much. I would say more throughout the third act, the emotional depth is actually right, but throughout towards the middle of the film and throughout the story, I wasn't really feeling it as much. And I gotta say, Zach Galifianakis as Jumba in the film, I just think he was miscasted. I thought Zach Galifianakis is hilarious. I loved him in the Hangover movies. He's a hilarious actor, but I just didn't buy him as Jumba in this film. And they did something different with Jumba in this film as well, which I'm not going to spoil, of course. I didn't like what they did with Jumba in this film, and I thought the CGI on Jumba in the film didn't look that good. I thought it's clever that they changed it to human forms in the film, both Jumba and Pleakley. I thought that's clever, but yeah, I feel like they did that to hide how terrible the CGI is with them too. Because yeah, that's when the CGI gets kind of terrible with Jumba and Pleakley. I thought the CGI on them doesn't look that great. It's not the worst I've seen, but it definitely looks very noticeable. But I just wasn't buying Zach Galifianakis' performance as Jumba. Not saying he doesn't have potential as Jumba, he could be very good, but I just didn't buy him in this film. Even characters like Agent Bubbles in the film, they did a lot of things differently with his character, which I just find him kind of there in the film. And that's one of my biggest problems with the film. There are some changes in this film that I felt like it misses the importance of the original Lilo and Stitch, and I felt like it does not work for me. There are a couple of changes where I'm just like, okay, I can see what it's trying to do, trying to be its own identity, and like I said, most of the changes, I think it does work. But I can see die-hard Lilo and Stitch fans will hate these changes or be very mixed by these changes. Some people say, oh, this isn't the Lilo and Stitch that I remember. But like I said, I liked most of the changes, but there are some changes, especially throughout some characters, that I just feel like it did not work for me. And I thought the third act of this film changes a lot from the original film. They did a lot of changes with that, and I just did not buy it. So yes, this film does have a couple of issues, but overall, guys, Lilo and Stitch is still a very serviceable Disney live-action remake. I would say Stitch in the film is the biggest reason you should go see this film. The CGI on Stitch looks incredible, and Chris Sanders voicing Stitch is a real treat. Maia Kealoha is fantastic as Lilo, and I thought the chemistry between Lilo and Stitch in the film is definitely the best part about this movie. Their chemistry is very strong in this film. The rest of the cast is great. The story, throughout the most part, with the changes, I did enjoy. There are some changes that did not work for me. And I forgot to mention the music in the film. The music is still really good in the film. We still have some songs that we know and love from the original film. Some of the songs are a bit changed up a bit, but I gotta say, most of the songs I really do buy into the film. This film is funny, this film is cute, it's very adorable. It's definitely a really fun family film with a couple of changes that I feel like it works and it didn't work. So yes guys, go out and check out Lilo & Stitch. I did enjoy myself with this film, so I would say for live action remake of Lilo & Stitch, I would say definitely go see this film at a matinee price. So guys, that is my review for Lilo & Stitch. Let me know what you think of this film in the comments below. Do you like this film, hate this film, or you thought it's okay? And what Disney film that you think would have worked as a live action adaptation? In my opinion, Treasure Planet. I feel like it would have worked as a live action film. So make that, because the original movie wasn't the best Disney film. Make sure you guys follow me on social media links down below. Keep contact with me, and make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, notify for my latest movie reviews and other movie related content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day.